Steph, hey, how are you?
Hello there. Oh, I'm blocking myself. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Thanks for coming on the show. I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too. I'm sorry it didn't work like you said it wouldn't. So I'm on
No,
my
it's
phone.
cool. All good. When we first started doing this, because I do it almost daily, when we first started doing this, yeah, it would take like honestly almost 10 minutes for guests to figure out. So I'm just sitting there talking shit for nearly 10 minutes just on my own till they figure it out. So you still managed to do it super quick. So yeah, thank you.
So thank you
Yeah.
so much for bringing me on. Yeah, I'm excited to be here for your group.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, as I was saying before, so we'll actually strip the audio as I'll put it on iTunes, Android. It goes on YouTube as well, but YouTube is so slow for uploads. So I'm like months behind with uploads because it takes. Here in Australia, it's just the internet is shit. Like even when I've got good internet in comparison to everyone around me, because there's a few different services you can get. It is just rubbish. So yeah, YouTube, it'll happen eventually. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to just jump right in and learn about your story, Steph, and how you got started in business. And have you always had an entrepreneurial streak, or is it something that more recently has come to light?
Actually, I feel like it's always been the entrepreneurial inside of me because,
Yeah.
as far as I can remember, I was always trying to sell something, and I can remember, just making little trinkets like little necklaces and stuff at the age of 13, thinking that
Cool.
I could sell in my hallway, like people were walking by in my hallway. I'm like, I'm just gonna set up shop in my hallway. So I always felt
Awesome.
like I always had something inside of me, but the time that I actually realized that this was something I needed to do was it actually happened in 2008. So I was in short sales and real estate. The American market crashed. I'm sure everywhere else too, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of people losing their homes. So I was out there just trying to help be a foreclosure
Yeah, that's great.
agent. And I wasn't licensed at all, but I was helping out the real estate brokerage that I was working for. And at the time, we just had so many deals coming in the office that I kind of made it a point to like do a contest with the other girls that were there too. And I started stacking my deals up, like the manila folders up, to see how high I would go. And I, won, of course, because it was like 13 versus like 5 that they were
Yeah.
doing.
Wow. Okay.
So I knew that it was like something I enjoyed to do. Um, and I also enjoyed helping people as well as just fulfilling that need that I had inside. So I went through a couple different changes in my life where I saw real estate wasn't for me at the time. So I actually ventured off, did fashion for a little bit.
Cool.
I also worked for Starbucks. That was like my last job. I was working at their design studio. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like find a
Yep.
good light here. Um,
That's all good.
So I worked for Starbucks for a little bit, and what ended up happening was I started my digital agency that I have now, but I was getting so many clients, wanting to talk to me at all times of the day that I had to make a really tough decision. And it was either, continue working from 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9 after you come home and have no social life, or just like
Yeah.
bite the bullet and kind of take that leap of faith. So I did that
Yeah. Fantastic.
in June of 2017, so last year, and now I have my own little like cubicle here, so it's pretty cool.
Cool.
But yeah, it's been really great, and I've been working again in real estate, so I found my way back into it and found a different way to actually serve the community without me having to be physically in the open houses and doing those things that
Cool.
would take up so much of my time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would take so much time having to do that all day. Whereas if you can do it from a computer and just reach thousands of people at once, then you're able to help so many more people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So, when you did buy the bullet, so then you started. Did you start working from home initially? Is that how this all came about? And then you progressed now to your own office, or
Yeah, so at first I started off at home, and it got a little boring at first. So I had really loud neighbors, and there's construction outside because I do live in New York, so a lot of honking and stuff like that. So I ended up getting this little cubicle space, eventually moving up to a bigger space, but it's just me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been cool because, you know, you're at home and you don't see anyone else working, or you just want to like sit and watch Netflix and like munch on cereal or whatever. So
Cereal, love it.
I gained some weight. Let's just be honest. I gained some weight by being by myself. So now it's like I get to be outside and like get some sunlight and interact with the people that are here too, which is good for networking too, because there's a couple marketing agencies on my floor as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, Sharon's just jumped on. Andrew, thank you so much for tuning in. Well, yeah, that's it. You know, perfect for networking as well. And for everyone watching at home, we'd love you to say hi, just so you know we know you're getting some value out of this. Whether you know, if you're on the replays or hashtag Team Replay in the comments would be fantastic. So, Steph, I guess you know with lead gen for real estate agents. So, I guess for those that maybe that are in this group that are, because I do know we do have a few real estate agents. What would you recommend for them if they're just getting started in the digital space? Hey, Amanda, thanks for tuning in. So, yeah, if they're just starting their own lead gen, say off of door knocking and things like that, is there any tips that you can offer for them?
Yeah, definitely. So the easiest ad that you could set up right away is an open house ad. Now, if you're selling a house and your seller is actually open to doing that, I actually had a seller who was selling like a $3 million house. I didn't list it. That'd be an amazing commission on my part, but
Yeah,
she didn't want like anyone knowing her address, which is fine. But it's
yeah,
difficult
of
to
course.
get people at an open house if they don't know where they're going. So
Yep,
if you do have a good, yeah, Sharon's like, that's confusing. Um, but if you have someone that wants to work with you and trying to sell their house, what you would do instead is you put up the open house listing, and then you don't give them the address, because then you just have creepers kind of like walking by the person's
of course.
house. But then you
Yeah,
have them opt in to view the house, and then you're able to then call them if they leave their phone number. And I suggest calling within the first 5 minutes, and then that way you can say, hey, you're interested. And you could also get sellers from that way too, because they're seeing that you are doing something innovative that other people aren't doing, because
yep,
we're still stuck, you know, putting balloons on the sidewalk thinking that we're going to get droves
of
of
course.
people into the door, which doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I've sat there for hours. It doesn't happen. Um,
yeah, shit.
so that would be my number one suggestion. It's something really quick and simple. You don't need a ClickFunnels account. You might need a ClickFunnels account, or maybe Lead Pages. But you could
Okay,
also just
one of
have it
them.
like a text button down below and just make it really simple, and really, really easy.
Yeah, fantastic, and that's great because you know it's all about thinking outside the box and what you can do online. Because now there's just so many possibilities. So to be able to do that is just phenomenal. So yeah, so I guess from there, so then you do the opt-in, and then you'll then give them the address after you've set up on the phone. Is that right, or is it more of a like a virtual tour?
You would then give them an address. You could give them a call or text them. There's different like integrations you could do. So a simple one would be if you want to do ClickFunnels, you would have the integration be like the thank you. You mean balloons don't sell houses? No, they don't, John. I'm sorry.
Yeah, John, doesn't happen.
Um,
Oh, that's great.
Let me see if I can put my phone here. I keep moving
All right.
around.
It's cool. I did a Facebook Live yesterday when I was in a studio, and I didn't realize, but I'm walking around with it, so it's just shaking around like, "Hey
Yeah,
everyone, how are you?"
I'm
And it's
moving
just,
around because I'm busy and I turned it off.
yeah,
But
all good.
the simplest way would be, ClickFunnels. So you would have the open house picture, and then the second page would be the thank you page after they entered in their information. Then you could say, okay, here's the address, here's some additional photos. If you want to get in contact with an agent right now, this is my phone number. And also, when they're opting in, I would also suggest putting a field for their phone number, so that way you can
Yep,
just automatically call them right afterwards. And I find that really works well. We ran a
yep,
campaign where within 20 days the house sold from running that ad. So it
yeah,
definitely
fantastic.
decreases the amount of time that you're just sitting there waiting for something to happen. You're really being proactive and reaching out to the market.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because it's crazy when sometimes homes take 3, 4 months to sell, um, and just these little tweaks can make all the difference. So some fantastic value there for sure. Yeah. So I guess with because also you're an educator at Funnel and Grind. I mean, that's really interesting. How did that come about?
So I went to a conference, and I always had a passion for like strategizing and building up other people's businesses, but I didn't know how to really educate people on like what I knew. And I went to a conference that really inspired me to step out because I was really afraid of talking like public speaking or being recognized anywhere. Like I don't know if you guys watching have those kind of fears, but like they were real fears.
It
So
happens. Yeah, of course.
yeah, so I, decided if I was going to do anything in this world, like I really needed to have a footprint and like really put myself out there. So I did a Facebook Live. My very first Facebook Live was just explaining how I felt of after that event. It was actually Dan Henry's event last year.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And then I spoke to my good friend Landon Porter, who I know that was another guest of yours in the past, and he and I actually spoke, and he was helping me through my mental trash and all that stuff that was going on. And he was the one that was like, you should create a Facebook group, and it should be called Funnel and Grind. And I was like, that is a cool name. So I bought the domain, and that was it. So thank you, Landon, because I was really appreciated. But really, Funnel and Grind became like a spot where people could come and ask their questions of, is my funnel's not converting, what could I do? Or I have this new client, like what kind of targeting should I do for them? What kind of bait should I create for them? And just like a place where I hold all my trainings, I like to do them monthly, and then I kind of take a poll of like what people want to learn and just put that in there. So that's kind of what we've been doing since like April of last year, and it's grown.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's grown to a little group, and it's awesome seeing something like an idea of yours just become something bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's phenomenal. Like, and it's coming back to the whole, I guess, having a hesitation of putting your name out there, or, having a footprint online. It's a very real thing. Like when I first started with the group, because, this group's only about 3 months old. Basically, yeah, I didn't have any presence on my personal profile page. I made this private Facebook business group, and yeah, obviously everyone got to know me through the group, but there was no one I knew that was in the actual group initially. Whereas now you go on my personal profile page and it's just tons of shit about just people tagging me in podcast episodes or whatever else. So it's kind of just something where we develop, and then we can kind of blossom in that regard. And yeah, I like the use of the word footprint, because yeah, the podcast is actually called Online Footprint Project. Yeah,
That's awesome.
so perfect. Yeah, but that's cool. So you've had Fun on the Grind since April. That's awesome. So you've been able to help quite a few people, and polling as well, asking your audience what they want from you is a phenomenal way to learn. Because in this group, I was building it and I was trying to offer heaps of different value on different topics, but I had no idea. So yeah, I ran a poll and I said, what do you guys want to know? I'm like, well, we want to know Facebook group growth. I had to grow so quick. And then there was a bit of podcasting, and then, because of my sales experience, and I was like, oh, can we learn sales too? So, that's awesome. So sounds like it's all really come along for you, Steph. So you've done phenomenally so far. So congratulations.
Thank you. And I guess I want to just, for anyone who's watching, like I've talked to a couple people today, and one of my strengths is funnel building, and this was a topic in another group too, so I just wanted to kind of call it out.
Yeah,
funnel
great.
building is really what I like to do, and as an entrepreneur, we are never really educated on like the ins and outs of like owning a business. And when I launched and when I quit my job, I kind of like went all balls to the wall and like just put everything out. And I realized I was getting really exhausted. So you have to do like the 17 hats. I call it CEO, Chief Everything Officer, where you are the salesperson, you are the admin, you are the marketer, you do everything. And
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So as of late, I realized this, and I was like, I have more time because I quit my job. It's not like I only have 3 hours a night, not paying attention to my husband, which he forgave me for, but you know, he understood the bigger purpose.
Yeah.
But I really took a step back and I was like, what can I do to move forward? Because right now I'm the bottleneck. If I sell like 7 funnels, I have to go create these 7 funnels. But now I'm stopping my pipeline and I'm not nurturing those leads. I'm actually ignoring them at this point because I'm like, I'm full. And it's this feast and famine because you're not like generating new business and you're not talking to anyone.
Of course.
And all that stuff. So this was like a period of growth for me because I again went to AdCon, like I just came back from there last month, and I was like, I need a salesperson because I can't do this. And quite frankly, I don't like selling. I know it's like how you make your money, but for me, it's like I just the people listening on iTunes are not seeing my face right now, but there's just death.
There's
right?
a face.
Like,
We'll say that. There's a face.
Yeah. So I'm doing like hand motions around my neck, like that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So what I did instead was I joined this group, and I wrote a post and I said, hey guys, like I am really great at building funnels for real estate agents. I just need a seller. Like I need either a lead gen person for me, like you go out and you talk belly to belly to people, which means like face to face, or I need like just a salesperson that I could pay commission to. And it was insane how many people, like I just got off the phone with like someone else, and the response that you get is just like, wow, there's people that have the opposite problem that I do. Like I thought it was going to be difficult for me to find someone to sell my stuff, but there's people begging for it. There's people that are like, I just need someone to build it. I can't be bothered with tech. And I'm like, I have the opposite problem. Like, I can't be bothered talking on the phone all day. Like, that's awesome. So that's just
really
my
cool
advice to anyone who feels the same kind of stronghold. Like, they can't break out of this. I wake up and I grind and I do all the work. Like, there's different aspects that you could build out without having to worry about your margins or things like that. Like, you know, I increased my prices at this point now so I could fit in that like 15-20% commission that I'm going to be paying whoever is like selling it. So I think that alone will just scale my business to like new heights, because right now, as I mentioned, like I can only do like 7 clients at a time, and that's not going to get me anywhere near where I need to be. So unless I sell a course, like that's the only options I have. But yeah, as Sharon said, focus on your strengths. Take a day to just analyze like what you're good at and like what drains your energy. If sales drains your energy, find a salesperson. If funnel building drains your energy, find someone that builds funnels. And like, you know, join those groups to figure it out, because there's definitely a lot of people out there.
Definitely, you know, and networking is just such a big thing for that. And these online communities, like a lot of the Facebook groups, are actually phenomenal for finding people to fill those areas, because it is, like Sharon said in the comments, focus on your strengths. Then it's, I guess, not necessarily our weaknesses, but things that we aren't passionate about, we can then outsource to others in exchange for whatever it may be, whether it's financial or it's, in regards to doing the tech for them, or, something else. So, there's a lot of opportunity out there. It's just a case of finding the right fit and getting people started. Because, that's the thing. Like, for instance, with myself, my background is sales. So that's what I enjoy doing. The tech side of things I've learned along the way, and I'm now pretty good at that too. But, it's not a case of want to be a one-stop shop for everything. We want to really focus on our strengths. It's just that if we haven't been able to facilitate that so far, then obviously we've got to pick and choose what we want to do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And,
definitely. So that's cool.
And also, like, what I've done was I hired 2 VAs that one of them she does prospecting, and like LinkedIn has been really great. We tried cold email. I was kind of scattered in like different niches. Like, I'll be honest, I know cold email works because I've seen it for my my friends that've done it. But when you have that right market to message, or message to market rather, you are hitting their pain points and you're solving their problems in one hit. But like I was like cryotherapy and chiropractors and like dentists, and I didn't have a focus, so that's why like I believe it didn't work for me. But now that it's
Yep.
like I'm just focused on real estate professionals, that's all that I know because I've been in the industry. I know what they think and what they want. So it's been a lot more profitable in that sense.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's the thing. It's about focusing on one particular niche, and then you can really just as you said before, bolster the world to get that done. Whereas if we really spread out and we've got so many different industries we're working with, we're not going to really maximize and leverage the information from them about pain points and things like that. Whereas if we're all in on one thing, like real estate leads, for instance, then we know over time exactly what they want and what everyone wants in different aspects of real estate as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So
And then
LinkedIn,
also,
yeah.
sorry,
Oh yeah,
I
no,
had a
please continue.
call
Yeah,
earlier today, and the gentleman had asked me same question. He was like, I have a funeral home friend and a chiropractor friend, and I was like, if I'm an accountant and I come to you, and the only result that you have is for a funeral home, like those two things don't relate to each other.
yeah,
So if you had a result for an accountant and it was just one, then I'm sold because I see that you already have some kind of experience in like what I'm looking to do. Now,
yeah,
if you wanted to grow, and I know a lot of people that are listening are probably brand new in the agency, like it's fine to do free work. If it's like a trial, just be very open and honest. Like I had a gentleman ask me like if I ever did refinances. I've never done it, so I said, I've never done it, but if you want to take a chance with me, we'll build out a cool funnel and test it out, and then scale that up. So now we're working together. So
awesome.
it really helps just being transparent, not trying to be like, like fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
people acknowledge that you're not going to know everything. It's not
yeah,
possible,
absolutely.
and that's perfectly fine. It's just be really open and honest about it.
Yeah, definitely. And these days, with the amount of just sheer volume of people that is on the internet, kind of that authenticity now, the fake it till you make it thing is really dying out, which is fantastic because it
Yes.
can really, yeah, yes. I mean, periodically you'll still see ads, and people will say, "Oh, I made X amount of millions or hundreds of thousands in X amount of time," and a lot of the time it's a lot of shit. But then on the flip side of things, because of that now, for instance, I had a guest on here months ago, and then yesterday I was on Instagram, and I saw one of his sponsored ads pop up, and someone made a comment like, "Oh, that sounds so fake," blah blah blah. And I went to comment on it, but it closed, so I couldn't find the sponsored ad again. But I was going to be like, well, no, like he's actually legit. Like he did a virtual tour of his office, whilst he was on the podcast. Like this dude's real. So it is great that the fake it till you make it thing is now. There's so many skeptics that it is starting to die out. So if you can show true value and authenticity, then we're now going to get a lot further on the internet with our businesses.
Yeah, and then also same thing. I had another conversation today, and the bigger agencies are not fulfilling what they say they would. So that's another factor too, because
Yeah, definitely.
now we're trying to not fake till we make it and actually prove ourselves, but B, they already have these negative connotations of marketers. Like I got from my cold email campaign, like I got a couple people on the phone and they were just like, yeah, I already have an agency, but like, what could you do like differently? Or like, they just kind of treat us like throwaways. And we're
Yeah.
really trying to make a impact and create loyalty and brand recognition for our company. And it's not just like, here's $1,500 and I'm just gonna like build a really crappy, or not even build, like in this situation, they didn't even build anything. It was just like, thanks for your money. And now I'm trying to sit here and be like, but I'm different. Like I'm not going to do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
But then they
Yeah,
probably heard that
exactly.
before too. So it's just like, be very mindful of the industry that you're coming into, because the circles are tight. We all talk to each other. You'd be surprised like how small our circles are. And it's
Yeah,
just bad for business. It's just like, go work at a McDonald's if you don't want to fulfill promises and stuff. You just have to get someone a cheeseburger, and that works perfectly fine. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's, there's no accountability.
my lights go out often.
No, that's cool. But no, yeah, you're absolutely right. And it is a case of just, yeah, where there isn't that accountability, where one issue now that we face is because there are so many ad agencies, just having good ad agencies out there that actually fulfill promises is, there's a real niche for that. Because at first there was a niche for, digital marketers, but now there's an even further niche about good ones. So, it's phenomenal that you're able to help so many clients, and, when you max out, then you've maxed out, opposed to just taking it all on. And certainly there's ways to, outsource some of the work. And as you said, look for salesmen and that sort of thing. But it's all about the journey, and figuring out what works. And as long as you can continue to tick all those boxes, and your clients are happy, then, it's the best way to go.
Yeah, I'd rather like stop the faucet before it like starts overfilling the tub, if that makes any sense. But
Yeah, good
like
call. Yeah.
I'd like to just take what I got and try to build up on that before I start like scaling, because then it looks bad on me if I can't fulfill my promises, or if I can't get you the results that you're looking for. Then I just lost a customer. I just lost referrals that would have came from that, or even getting a negative review, which is like the worst case scenario.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
just, I guess, like for anyone listening, like I know money is great, and we all want it and stuff like that. Like 10K months is what we're all fighting for, but at what cost? Like your sanity, like just take it down, build out the systems, while you're actually getting clients too, because you don't want to build out the systems and then like nothing happens and you're just
Yeah.
kind of sitting waiting for your rent to pay itself. But yeah, I would just say that, like, fail forward, of course, but also be honest and truthful to your clients, because that's your moral responsibility to them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, well said. So, yeah, I guess, Steph, with everything we've touched on, you mentioned before about LinkedIn. So, that's been quite effective, because obviously cold email can be very effective, but that's a very large numbers game. With split testing, things like that. But have you found LinkedIn as an effective method of getting leads?
So it's funny actually. When I first started my agency, like I didn't know how to get leads. So the first thing I did was I changed my name on LinkedIn. At the time, I was a social media strategist, and I was just targeting business owners. So I literally typed in business owner or real estate agent, and the very first client I got was within 2 days of me doing that.
Nice.
And I had just started my agency. I just started, you know, open enrollment, and like I set up all my paperwork and stuff, my contracts. And second day, and he was like, "It's crazy how you just requested me," because I connected with everyone that was there.
Yeah.
Rule number one, that's what you do. And
Yep.
he was like, "It's just crazy how you connected with me, and I was looking for a social media manager at the same time." So
Yeah.
these
Cool.
people are looking for us, and it's our responsibility to put ourselves out there. That's also a good topic to touch on, because it we get stuck in the hype of like logos and branding and websites and stuff like that. It took me like 3 months to build a WordPress website, trying to figure out WordPress in general, and I never
Yep.
launched it. Like it just
Okay.
took all my energy, and you could do it in like 2 hours with ClickFunnels. Like that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to get at is, instead of focusing on these little details of like my branding logo and my colors and my fonts and what should my sales copy write, like do revenue generating activities. Like prospecting on LinkedIn is definitely like up there.
Yep.
And what I simply did was I connected with everyone that fell into the bracket, like business owner, or if you want to do dentist, whoever. And then you just write a simple like welcome message, and that way, it's not just like a blast of like.
Yeah. It's not a pitch.
It's
It,
more like friendly. And what
yeah.
I
Building
basically
rapport.
say, what I basically say is like, for me, I'm like, I enjoy connecting with other real estate professionals. If there's ever any need that you need from me, I'm definitely open to a call if you'd like.
Cool.
And then
Yep.
they accept. It's a high acceptance rate. So I'm not coming
Fantastic.
out and saying like, here's my freebie, here's my group, here's a link to my calendar. Like, I'm just trying to be friendly and open. And then I'll get people that PM me back or message me back, and they say, well, what do you offer?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
they ask me, like, what do I offer? Because they see that my LinkedIn profile is optimized. It says what I do. It says marketing consultant for real estate agents. Like, I make sure that those keywords are there so that they
Yep.
understand, like, I'm not just like an IT person or an accountant. Like, I'm specifically talking to you because you're my niche and I'm looking to help you.
Yeah, fantastic. That's awesome, Steph. So, you know, a lot of great value here today. So, you know, I really appreciate you coming on. It's been phenomenal. And I know a lot of people that are, you know, if they're watching, they will definitely be getting value from this. If you are listening in at home, we'd love to hear from you. Say hello. If you're on the replay, hashtag team replay, we'd love to hear from you. So, Steph, I guess for everyone that is listening in at home, what's the best way for them to be able to get in contact with you for your business so you can help them with their business?
Yeah, definitely. So if you'd like to get in contact with me, I think the best way is add me on Facebook. I'd love to be friends with you guys on Facebook.
Yep.
And the way it's spelled out is STEF as in Frank, and then my last name is NEGRIN. I do have a website, but I feel like I love seeing faces and interacting with you guys a little bit more personally.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Oh, Steph, yeah, this has been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate your time and, you know, thank you for coming on and sharing a lot of value. Now, is there any other topics in regards to your business you'd like us to touch on before we go so we can, you know, promote your business further?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So if you, by any chance, are a real estate agent, I'm out there wanting to help you out. So what I do is I create the actual system for you to get appointments. So I know a lot of people talk about lead generation, and that's like a big thing, big buzzword. But what I feel is most important is if you can't keep up with your leads, then that's really a fulfillment issue because
Yep.
you know, they're just as busy as we are, and they must have like 100 leads to follow up with just to find out like she's not ready to close or she has to go to a credit repair company. So like what we do a little bit differently than the rest of the companies is we actually filter out those leads and we just give you the ones that are worth calling back and
Cool.
creating appointments for. So that's what we advertise and what we promise our customers. And yeah, if you're out there, if you know anyone who would benefit from this, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, I would definitely appreciate the referral.
Yeah, awesome. No, fantastic. All right, Steph, well, yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a great chat, been a lot of value. I do appreciate it.